this is kind of. I wanted the podcast to be like some of this. Does that make sense? Like I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a place that maybe my friends would come and like talk. Maybe we could like talk about some shit and like not. I mean, I know like it's being recorded and so like you're kind of on camera.
You have some guard up.
Yeah, a little bit guard up, but like, can't you like fuck? I'm about to put on fucking glasses. Holy shit!
Why?
My eyes are just. They're so sensitive. Like I can't fucking. Because I think that people. Okay, like I'm the asshole that wears sunglasses at night. Okay.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, people, you judgmental motherfuckers. My eyes, they hurt, man. Like these lights, they hurt.
My eyes is sensitive.
I'm sensitive now. I don't know. We can argue how I got here, but it's not like but I mean, my eyes are sensitive. So stop beating up on my feelings.
Thanks for letting me be here with you. This is nice.
No, I appreciate it. And like, when you said we were putting all this together, and you were like, hey, I just want to be myself for a moment. I was like, yeah, like I mean, like this kind of dick that I asked like a bunch of my friends to come over. Hey, just be a bunch of characters. Don't be yourself.
Yeah. Well, no, that was fun though. Like doing like the Longhorn thing. Like I was like, oh, when's the last time I was a fucking like being a character, right? Like,
but like there's like people smarter than me. They'll say things like, you got to play, right? You got to play. Mm-hmm. Like it's fun. It's fun to play, and I think it's important to play because it gives you a lot of inside of it. There's probably a lot of perspective. I would think, you know what I mean? Yes. Lock that door. She thought she was going to get in.
Thwarted.
You know what? But like, God bless, because like she'll turn it, and like she knows she ain't supposed to come in here, so she won't. So every once in a while, she'll knock.
And okay. Sorry, I thought
this is a total draw statement.
Wait, hey, sorry. The Barbra Streisand thing. We asked you about her, and all you said was like, "Yeah, she has all these albums." I don't listen. Like, no one knows the songs, and like, I think that was where we stopped on Barbra Streisand.
Yeah, but okay. So, but you want to know about the Barbara?
Well, like, what is your connection to Barbra Streisand?
None. There's no connection.
It's just is it purely for the pun of the Barbara?
Well, okay. I feel like maybe I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again just in case I didn't. Okay, so when collecting all these album covers, I had an abnormally amount of Barbra Streisand ones, and I was like, "How does this lady have so many songs?"
Like, how many of those did you already have, and how many did you have to get?
So I had, like, in comparison, okay, like, I probably had like 3 or 4 already, like 3 or 4 different Barbra Streisand covers, right? Okay. And like in every album in here, there's not very many people who have 3 or 4. Billy Joel is another real one.
Yeah.
But I don't have a lot of like same artists, numerous ones, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I was trying to think of like what I wanted the backdrop of it to be, and like what would be like a cool like clever pun, like the Barbara was, and then I already had 3. So hang on, so then I had to buy like 16 more
for it to complete it.
To complete it, the wall,
dude. Like it took me a while to like actually like sit down and like see, and once I saw like the sign, the Barbara, like. I'm in love with the concept and like everything that comes together on it. It was
totally random though. Like it was total kind of just fell across it, and because I was like, what am I gonna call it? And I didn't know. And then I was like the Barbara. And then I don't know. But that's how I ended up with that stupid tattoo, the dragon baby, dragon a baby. Dragon babies.
Where did you this image in front of the bar here, where's that from? Like what
is the famous image, or where did I get it?
I didn't know it was a famous image.
So that's a Norman Rockwell painting.
Oh.
Yeah, of like a sailor getting like a tattoo. I got it from my ex-wife.
Like you got it as a gift?
Yeah, I think she gave it to me like as a gift or something. And then I think Aaron like framed it. And then it was kind of just sitting upstairs. And then I noticed one day, I was like, well, that space was open. We were going to put like a logo or something there, you know? Uh-huh. And I was like, that space was open. And I was like, oh, wow, like it's the same color as the bar, right? And I was like, I could just like put it right there. Because that's like my 2 things, right? Sneakers and tattoos, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that wasn't the intention to be my 2 things, but here we are.
Wait, did you have to color the sneakers or were they already gold?
No, I did that. I spray painted. I used some like different types of like spray paint. Like I did very little research, and then I tested on a few shoes, and then
That sounds like research.
well, and then I did some like layering on like some layering different colors to see how it would layer out, and then like what would sheen, and then that's what I kind of finally ended up with. I thought they turned out really great.
I think they look legit.
Yeah, I'll have to show pictures of it. I haven't really shown anybody. Nobody ever sees it. Appreciation for the Barbara.
Dude, the bar, bro. The bar, bro.
Barbara.
Like the fact of like, where were you sitting when you like when you said that to yourself?
I think I think I was maybe talking it out to Aaron, and I don't even know what else was in consideration. I don't even know how I got. I don't even know how I got there. It was probably just some dumb thought that I had, because we're always like around the house. We're always rhyming and making up silly songs and stuff like that, and changing words of songs and stuff. And so it was probably something that we were like singing or being goofy with, and I was just like, "Well, that sounds like cool," you know what I mean? And just like, and then I had the 4 albums. It just really, what really stood out to me is like, how does this woman have so much music? Like, because no one knows any of the songs, no one listens, but like she has all these albums. But she was contracted. They contracted her like 10 albums. Like she was held to like 10 or something like that.
Did you know about like the expanse of like her music and the number of albums, like whenever you're trying to get more albums, or did you know it beforehand? You're like, Barbra Streisand has done so much music.
No, because I was like, okay, so I need to look for more covers. But in my head, I was like, well, how many covers could there be? Right? Because like, okay, think, what's your favorite band of all time? Anybody?
Like, I don't know, Hozier. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
How many albums does he have?
Like 6.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand records 6 albums in her sleep, dog.
But wait,
She had like 6 off the cuff, dude. Like, I mean, like there's so many albums.
do you wait, like, what's the number one Barbra Streisand song that comes to your mind?
I don't know one.
You don't know any.
No,
you don't know a single one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like she has all these albums, and I don't know one song.
Can I tell you?
And then we ask a Trey, and he's like, that song from that movie. Like he didn't even know the name of one.
Dude, he's I can't remember the word for it, but like he is
Savant.
he's honestly low-key autistic when it comes to just like movies and pop culture in that world. He just knows, and I was a certain level of that, or at least I used to be. Like in high school, like same thing. I was just constantly watching movies. I knew where people were. Like I knew that guys, like people who just showed up in movies, and like I could spout like, oh, they showed up in that movie in this scene. I've lost that since. Trey has never lost it. He's just honed in. He's amazing at trivia too. Like I'm sure you could tell, like, because he can just expound on like, oh well, in this scene, and then just a wealth of knowledge that he's just absorbed and like kept and retained in the sponge that he is.
He's such a dude, but he's not. Does that make sense?
I think there's
Like he's dude-like, oh, like we're gonna do like memes. And I know all these movies and blah blah blah.
memes,
But
movies.
but
He's also like such a a meathead aspect of him too, of like lifting work. Like he was in the weight room. He was definitely like a jock in that sense.
But he's so nice.
Yeah.
He's just so nice. He's so polite, and he understands. Probably because he said he was raised with his sisters, right? Talking about like he's dead or something.
Yeah, he has a sister. And
hey, you had to leave early. Not my problem.
He has one sister. He has an older brother too, but I don't know if they grew up together. I think he was a lot older than him. So
Do you have an older brother?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Only child?
No, I'm the oldest. I am the older brother.
Oh, it's fine.
Did he beat you up? Did you get beat up?
No, well, not. It took a while because Nolan was like skinny, so it's a year and a half. So it's my older brother was born. Year and a half, Logan was born.
Oh, so
year and a half, sister was born, and then like 9 years later, miracle child Colbin was born.
Yeah, so like there's not enough distance in between y'all. Like
so it's not just that. So I was also like, I was a chubby big old boy, and
as a kid,
yeah,
really.
Oh, dude, it's definitely part of like a complex I have of like I'm terrified to be fat again. Like I was very chubby kid. I ate a lot. I didn't like eat except for Starburst, but like I didn't eat like a ton of like I would just eat too much food, right? Like it wasn't like I was like love sweets or anything. I would just eat a ton, and like I was obsessed with like I still am like cheese and like dairy. Like my parents, whenever I was like I guess I was like 2 years old or something. Old enough to like walk. And they woke up in the middle of the night. I had grabbed a gallon of milk and a hunk of cheese and like from the fridge and gone back to bed and was curled up with them in my bed. And they found me like that. And that's when the legend of Logan was born.
I can't believe you ever told me that story.
Yeah, so I was really I was definitely a bigger like chubby kid, and man, and so I would and with that you get some natural strength with it. So I would always like beat my brother up, my older brother, right? Like I always had like the weight on him, and then the tables turned whenever he got into like 8th grade and like 9th grade and like really started lifting weights because he was always stronger than me. Like once he started hitting the weights, he just had the body for it. Like he was really compact. And then he was able to beat me up. And so that changed. that was a real switcheroo on me.
Okay. Just because I want to know, what was the first fight where you've been beating him up, right? And then the first fight where you got your ass whooped?
I don't know if like it ever got to like there's a fight that I got my ass whooped, but like there's definitely like a shoving match where like I felt like the force, and I was like,
and you're like, ooh,
I'm gonna have to like because I
readjust.
I was always like I was never dumb, right? Like I was pretty aware of what was going on. I was like, gonna factor that into the equation now. Gonna pick my spots. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna double down on smarts. I'm gonna cut them with words. No, it's not gonna be physical feats anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so having an older brother, what was that like? I don't know. It's so weird to like get asked that question. You're like, it was just life. I
really wish maybe I would have done some things differently as the older brother.
Like what?
Well, I probably just beat him up too much, and in a weird way, like I've never looked at it this way, but like this is no secret. So even if he heard this, I don't think he would disagree that we didn't always like get along, And why fucking would you? Because like some dude's been beating your ass for like the last like 12 years or whatever it is, right?
You mean your roommate that you're willing to say anything to?
Yeah.
You're gonna get some scraps.
And so I always wanted us to have a closer relationship, but like he wasn't like that, and probably a lot of it was because, if I would have, at the end of the day, we did have each other's backs always, which I think is a brotherly thing.
Yeah.
But I think the in between didn't make sense. You know what I mean? That I was like picking on him, or like I was being mean.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Well, what's this? I thought we had each other's backs." And maybe
you feel like you betrayed him at some point. At some point, like that was too much.
I was only like I was 6 when he was born. By the time he's 6, I'm 12, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows? Like maybe I had like all these maybe I was mad about stuff. Maybe I was mad about him still attention. Who knows? I don't feel like that. Mm-hmm. I felt like I always wanted to be, but I wasn't a very good like older brother in that sense. You know what I mean?
As in, well, let me ask. Like, if someone else came after him, like you would predict him, right?
I was on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But then I'm the only one that gets a kick his ass. I mean, I think that was the.
But I feel like that's not so like. I feel like that's quite normal and like
very quite normal, but I would say, in credit to my brother, he was like, "That's not cool."
Yeah, he called you out on it.
No, he never called me out on it, but I think instinctively, like as a human being, he was like, "Hey, that's not cool." Mm-hmm. That you do that. Even though this is maybe what brothers do, like he was like, "We don't do that." You know what I mean? Like that's not what you do to people. I think he was gonna join our fraternity and ended up not.
Okay. Was it like a last second thing, or was it like
no? It was like he got in and he knew it wasn't for him. But it was a lot of the same thing, right? Like when you get in a fraternity, it's a lot of the same thing. Where it's like, hey, we're the only ones that get to pick on you. You know what I mean? We're because we're all brothers.
And he's like, why would you pick on me?
Yeah, why would you pick on me? We're all brothers. You know what I mean? And so like I think that's a very good mentality to have. I don't think it's a bad thing. But I also don't think that, like, when you think about, like, probably the football team or, like, our fraternity, like, we weren't meaning any harm by it. Just kind of like, it was brotherly, or brothers. It's just brotherly kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's bonding type stuff. I guess girls do something similar.
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's almost because, like, I don't know, maybe it goes the other way, but like you have to be on somewhat of an intimate level with someone to be able to like pick on them in that way, right? Like there's an intimacy there a bit. Like it can get skewed, but like if I'm like ribbing you about something, right? Like making fun of you, and it's typically like in good faith. I guess that can get skewed, but I guess what I'm getting at is that like picking on like making fun of each other is like very much a love language in a lot of relationships.
Okay, so fair, but I would say that wasn't his.
But that
Right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if we go love language, well, it's like gift giving and like words of affirmation or all these kind of things. That kind of picking on him behavior wasn't for him. You know what I mean?
so okay, so for him he was like, that's not how I feel love. Please don't do that to me.
He never said that out loud,
Yeah.
but I think that's probably what he probably, if I had to get, I don't know, I can't speak for him. I think that's what he'd want to say.
Okay.
Like, hey, that's not cool. Like, I mean, this is like, I'm kind of thinking of this in this moment too. Like, you know what I mean? That
So
it's hard for me to remember. I've been working so hard to just be a better person. It's hard to remember how shitty I was, but I know that I know I was doing things that weren't that great, right? And so sometimes it's hard to reach back and go, well, like, you know, what were my intentions at that moment, or, you know.
Are you able to remember your intentions in like that long ago in those moments?
It feels like a different person.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know what I mean? Like I that's why I say when I kind of retrospectively look at it, like I go, maybe maybe that was really what was going on. It was all if I would have been if I had just been more like bring you into the fold instead of like demanding you be in the fold, kind of, you know what I mean?
Is that what you felt you were doing? That you were demanding, like, you will take this, you will be a part of this.
I feel like that now. I don't, you know, I didn't. The old me didn't understand why our relationship didn't work, right? But the new me understands who I was, and if I look at that person, I go, oh man, well yeah, like why would he, you know? That didn't. I mean, me and my brother, we're good now.
Yeah.
It just could have been better sooner. You know what? I think about a lot. I'm going to turn 50, and I think about a lot about just time I wasted and just all these things. But you know, you have to get there how you get there. I'm just glad I got here to a more of awareness of myself and like who I am as a person, and hopefully not treating people as.
So
bad as I was.
I have a question for you. How often do you like currently like communicate like with your brother?
Oh, like we talk like all the time.
Like how often?
Well,
Like,
okay,
text.
I say we talk all the time. Like we'll text like during the week.
Yeah, like it's like I will talk to my brother every couple months, maybe.
I mean,
Something like
and we've had periods like that, and like we don't text all the time. But it's more than we had before, and it feels healthy and good. Like I feel like we have really good conversations now, whereas
Yeah.
before we didn't have like maybe good conversations.
Yeah, well,
but I think that was partly on me too. You know.
Well, I think what I was getting at was like I guess all of our relationships are so different. Because like with my little brother, it's like I talk to him like 2 or 3 times a week. I have missed calls from him. Like he's like, and that's kind of like our dynamics that like we're in pretty good communication a lot. With my older brother Nolan, we won't have like probably like a really like intimate convo like probably like twice a year, but like that's like our speed, and that's just like where we meet each other at, and it's like both of the relationships are valid and good and like of equal importance in my life.
Yeah, like my very best friend. We keep saying that we're gonna like hang out like a lot more and do a lot more stuff together, but we don't. You know what I mean? And it's always me. Like but I don't mind hitting him up because there's a lot of value there. You know, when I do hit him up. But we always talk about how we're gonna spend. But that's our speed. We talk like every couple of months. You know what I mean? But like he's like family to me. He's like a big brother to my brother. I feel like, you know. But I mean, I think just because like you're all like brothers and sisters doesn't mean that like that would be crazy. Like it'd be weird if y'all all were exactly the same, right? Like you're all brothers and sisters, and then you're all exactly the same. That would be weird.
We're already too alike.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so like it's like to have the expectation that you would be close to every single sibling. My dad's 1 of 7. He's not close to all of them. You just can't be. It's like every new kid is another extension of how far out like, you know, can you reach and connect to someone, you know?
Yeah. Wait, so it's just the one brother for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So question, how did you feel whenever your brother was like, I don't want to do the fraternity anymore?
It kind of sucked.
Do you remember were you angry or let down or both? Or a different emotion?
You know, I kind of knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's just not like, you know, joining a fraternity is a bunch of people telling you what to do for a whole semester of school. And that is not my brother's speed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that your speed?
You know, I thought I will fall into line. I would fall into line to join a fraternity.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like I knew the game. Like I knew the game.
You're okay with like you're like rite of passage.
Well, I just know
that
that just, like it's like being like a apprentice tattoo artist. Like it's like you just something you got to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I knew that everyone before me had done the same shit. I knew that this is just this. You know, I've seen Animal House. I'm just kidding. I just knew that this was the game. You know what I mean? But like as an example, like if I was going to be coached by somebody, I wouldn't want to do just like cursing me out and yelling at me and like telling me I suck and stuff like that. That's not the kind of coach I want. I want a coach that tells me what I'm going to do wrong, how to get right, and he's passionate about it. That can be fine, but not just to bang on people. And you know, and some of the guys in fraternity just there to bang on people. They're not there to make you know, essentially what this is to make you better, make you a brother. Mm-hmm. Some people are there just to be a jackass, and so like I think that those people, you know, he didn't respect those people, which he shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Your brother didn't respect those people.
Yeah, which he shouldn't, right? Like he's like, boy, like, who are you? Like, and that's fair.
Did you feel like you didn't respect those people, or you were slower to like not?
No, I just knew I just knew the game.
Yeah.
Like you know, this sounds fucked up, but like people that were being mean to me, just like on purpose, they were doing that to everybody. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to avoid it because it just sucked. You know what I mean? But I think that's like, anytime there's like this weird male rite of passage of joining some sort of something, whether it be football or something like that, there's a lot of that stuff that just kind of like goes on. It's just kind of part of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means. You know?
What was your inspiration for joining did your father do a fraternity, or is that you're not legacy or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't I got to college. And like I wasn't even planning on joining the fraternity, and I was working at a place, and there was a bunch of guys that were I'm a SIGTAL, and there was a bunch of guys that were SIGTALs there. And they
what are you saying?
I'm a SIGTAL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This and so there was just a bunch of guys that worked there, and they're like, "Hey, you want to like come to this thing?" And I went, and I was like, "Oh, everybody's so nice and so cool," because they weren't big, like they weren't some like big fraternity. It was like 50 guys.
Okay.
I mean, it's real small. And so I was like, "Oh, like these guys just seem like cool. They all want to hang out." And so I was like, I was cool with that. You know what I mean? I didn't realize at the time that like fraternities were a whole bigger, different thing. You know what I mean? Like I had joined for the guys that I had met. A lot of guys were joining because like they just wanted to meet girls. They wanted to throw parties. They wanted to do something on campus or whatever it was. But like I met these guys and I was like, oh, they're all cool. Like I like hanging out with them. Like I want to do this, you know? Because I was like, all that other stuff I can do on my own.
Was your fraternity like known for anything in particular on camp, or like did they throw parties? Did they?
They call them the Sig Tacos.
What does that mean?
It means like half the guys in our fraternity were Hispanic. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and then I guess you can speak to this more. Fraternities is that traditionally like a very like white thing, Caucasian thing?
No, I just think that like I don't know. I feel like I told the story before. I met this guy that was in a black fraternity, and I was like, I gotta know, man. Have you ever had a white guy join? He was like, oh yeah, and I was like, how'd that go? He goes, not good for him. You know what I mean? They're gonna make it tougher. Mm-hmm. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But also now, fraternities back when I joined fraternities were very. I don't know if racist would be the word, but just bigoted. I mean, like in the sense of like, you know, like.
But more open about it, or I mean.
Well, not open, yeah, but... and like now, like it seems like a lot of fraternities are just multicultural. Like it's just everybody, which is great. That's what it should be, right? Mm-hmm. But at the time when I was in, it just wasn't.
It was more exclusive.
It was more exclusive like that. You know, I mean, I just think that like, you know, like why would one guy of one race want to join a whole thing of another race and try to like understand what that culture is like? You know what I mean? In the sense of like, If I were to
Like,
join
why would you try to assimilate into?
if I joined a black fraternity, I wouldn't understand any of the background and culture of being black and how that impacts like the fraternity, like what that culture means to the fraternity. Like I wouldn't understand any of it, right? You know, and that'd be so lost. It would feel fake. That to me, it'd feel fake.
Well, it would. I would assume it would feel fake if like you act like you knew everything.
Well, sure,
Right.
yeah. But I guess if you're there to learn, then I guess.
I guess if you go and you're like, I don't know anything, but like,
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean,
I'm just a curious little kitten. And I'm ready to join your frat.
But I think that like, you know, you want to join somewhere ultimately that you feel accepted and wanted. And probably in a real short-sighted way, a lot of times we feel accepted and wanted with people that look like us or sound like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, if you look at a lot of fraternities, like even inside the fraternity, all the guys looking the same inside that one fraternity. No, minus like color of their skin, right? Like they'll all kind of like dress the same or act the same or be the same in that one group. And then you have another one, they all kind of dress the same and do something like a little bit different.
So question, was that something you desired whenever you're in college of like, I want to feel accepted and like wanted? Like were you seeking that out or did like just the fraternity come in and you're like, oh, I guess I'll do this?
I think I like the idea of like joining a fraternity. Like I was like, oh, that'd be cool. You know what I mean? To like be in college and like be in a fraternity. And I think that probably it was like for me, growing from a little small town to getting all the way to there was like these are like bigger jumps. You know what I mean? Like just and like I was out there by myself. I didn't know anybody. I'd moved to Texas State. Well, it was Southwest Texas at the time, and like. I knew a couple people, and I was just like anything to like steady.
Who were you living with? Like whenever were you in the dorms?
I moved.
Like...
No, I moved into an apartment. I moved up here with a guy that I was waiting tables with in Victoria. We waited tables at the same restaurant, and like he wasn't even going to school, and he goes, "Hey, I'll move up there with you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like you know what I mean? Like got a roommate, and so like he came up, moved up, and
nice.
That wasn't great.
Oh no, it didn't go well.
Like well, let me put it this way: At one point, he started writing his name on all his food.
Oh.
And so, like, and not that I don't think I was, I don't know who was he. I don't think it was me. Like, I mean, like.
Were you the only other person?
I was the only other person living there, but I'm not going to eat this guy's, like, he's writing his name on his Hot Pockets. And I'm like, bro, I'm not taking your Hot Pockets.
Well, also, it's like.
There's two. Like, I mean, like, you'll know it's like, gone. You know what I mean?
Also, it's like, if I'm, like, set on stealing your food and, like, to look at it and say, like, oh, it's got his name on it. Huh. Like, that's not going to stop me from eating your food.
Anyways, but it was other things, too. And just, like, you know, like that you know, it just wasn't a good fit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that lasts, like, what, year?
Yeah, and then what? And then...
Did you ever live at the frat house?
No. Because I knew it was just a disaster.
Like it would have been a disaster for you?
I mean, it's just like, okay, so, like... Anytime you went out to the fraternity house is just a wreck. Especially if we didn't have pledges, it's not clean, right? I mean, like, this is the honest, right? So if there's no pledges, it's not clean. None of the bathrooms are clean. It's just
when would you not have pledges? I don't know anything about frat life.
So, like, if you were to, like, I guess, like, you know, in between breaks,
okay,
like between like semesters and stuff like that, like, or say you didn't get a big pledge class or like, you know, whatever people go. But I mean, just like 4 or 5 dudes living in a house. I mean, the bathrooms are a wreck.
Wait, is that how many people were like staying at the house?
At our particular one, we probably had like 4 to 5 guys living there at a time.
Wait, you said 4 to 5 or 45?
No, 4 to 5.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, there's probably 45 guys in the whole fraternity, right? Yeah, and so it would just be like, you know, and you just go out there and you look in their rooms and it'd just be like a disaster. And then you like, you know, everybody's like, if anybody wanted to party. Like people just like think about this. Like this is what living in a fraternity. At least when I was in school, this is what living in a fraternity house would be like. Okay, it's like Tuesday. You got a test tomorrow. Okay, so you've studied and now you're like going to sleep. And about 2:30 in the morning, you hear boom, boom, boom. Wow! Just like people screaming, like fuck, coming down the hallway and shit, like partying, busting in your room, going, hey, what's going on, bro? And you're like, oh, I gotta go sleep. And that would be every night. Every night. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you couldn't get away from it. You locked yourself in with it.
Yeah, because like if guys had nowhere to go after hours, they would go to the fraternity house. They had girls with them, they'd probably go to the fraternity house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, you're just subject to that all the time. And I was like, no, thank you. Like, I'm good.
Gotcha. So did you have a roommate all throughout college?
Yeah, for the most part. Like, I was trying to think of who I lived with. What? I don't know if it was my roommate Joey. Oh, I did. Okay, so like I lived with one of my good friends for a while, and then my brother moved in, and then we had to leave that. We left that establishment, and we moved into a house together. We lived in a house for a while.
Who was that lived in the house?
Me and my brother and this other.
How was it living with your brother?
So we're 6 years apart, and so I went off to college, and at some point our relationship kind of transitioned because, now he's like 16. He's like, hey, you buy me a beer? I was like, or we look alike. So it's like, hey, have your ID kind of thing. Or I was probably more like, hey, you want my ID? Maybe more than him asking for it. But just, and so by the time we got to college, we were kind of in a already going like a better place.
Wait, when you say we got to college,
like, because I stayed in college for a really long time.
Okay, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, wait, how?
Bro, I was in college for like 12 years or something like that. Like, I started college. Okay, so I graduated in 1994. I started college in 95. I mean, I know my parents did not let me go like without the year, right? I didn't graduate till like 2000.
What did you do that whole time?
Just like went to school.
Okay.
I mean, it's 6 years.
Yeah.
From 94 to 2000.
So your brother came in like how long did y'all overlap, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out.
Like a year and a half.
Okay.
And then we lived together a little bit after that, probably. I can't remember, but like I think we were living together a little bit after that.
Okay. And it was like, I guess, how was it living with him after he decided to to get out of the frat?
Oh, it was fine. Like I never held anything like against him with the fraternity. You know what I mean? Because I just knew I knew it wasn't for everybody. And like, to be honest, you don't want somebody. It's hard enough to get those guys to commit to do things. So like, you don't want somebody that's half-ass in. You want somebody that's all the way in.
Do you think he only did it because like you were in the fraternity?
Yeah. I think he wanted to try it. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how much, I can't speak for how much influence I have on his life, but I think there was moments where like, it's like, oh, my brother's doing this, I'm going to do this too. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that, even him being my little brother sometimes, like, oh, he's going to do that, I can do that. I can trust that too. Especially now as an adult, like,
Sorry, I'm really harping on like your brother thing.
I've never talked about any of this, so it's great.
What are your personalities like? Like how are they alike? How are they different?
I think I didn't recognize how similar we were, and I think was part of the problem, right? But then probably when I started to really look at myself as a person and really change who I am, I could see him in a different light. So then I talked to him in a different way, and I think it's probably, I talked to him in the way I would want to be talked to. We were raised by the same person. We grew up in the same family. There is a lot of like stuff about us that is alike, And so I just changed the way that I show up for him as his, it's crazy. Like, as a little kid, I'm one person. I'm really not showing up for him as his brother. Like, why would you trust somebody? Like, why would you support somebody through that, right? And so now I feel like I do show up for him as his brother. Like, and that's why our relationship is tighter now.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think I never wasn't not. Like, it wasn't like, it's not all or nothing. But inside, I feel like that I show up for him much better than I used to. Because I don't like put this, probably not intentionally, and even to the point maybe I would probably put pressure on us to be close because I wanted us to be close. And now we're just close. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like me doing things to make us close. We're just close.
Yeah.
We're just closer. And it's good. You know what I mean? And like, you can't make something like that.
You're saying just letting it happen naturally rather than trying to force it, I guess.
Well, accepting him for exactly who he is as a person, and that you know, it was weird. Accepting him for the person that, oh, we're not gonna maybe have a close relationship. We might not be close, right? And then that made us close. It's wild.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel similar with like with my brother Nolan, where it's like I want to feel close and like I understand my brother, and like I don't think that's going to come from constant communication with him, because that's not what either of us want.
and I think that I really think that people and relationships evolve. We'll just say for shits and giggles over decades. That's 10, right?
Yes.
Fucking A. Right? That roughly every 10 years, you probably change a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's more often than that. Maybe it's less, or maybe you get older or whatever. But like you live kind of different lives. And you know, and unfortunately, probably closer to the end of your life, everyone, you start to realize it more. And so like you really want to draw people in, right? And those relationships change. But like, you know, having the relationship you have now in 10 years, it might be something like totally different and something better. Because it could be something worse.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you have any? Hey, you have any questions about my brother before we leave? Like, because that was very interesting for you to ask. Like, I mean, you know, especially, and we kind of got on that topic, just kind of talking about you and like family and brothers. But you know,
I guess, well, I asked you about what are you and your brother's personalities like, and I guess you kind of said like, oh, we're very similar, and you didn't realize it. When you say that, what are y'all similar? What are your similarities that you're speaking to? And then I'm also curious about what are your differences, because I'm not sure if you specifically expressed those before.
I think that you know, probably I would guess like most people's similarities when you're siblings is like the fact that you're raised by the same person. If you're raised by the same person, right, and you're raising each other and the whole like kind of thing. So that I mean, and you know, in that way we're like super similar. I think the ways that we're different is that I'm just a weird dude. Like I mean, I just like my brain just kind of goes there, and my brother is just very like logical. Like I mean, everything just you know 1+1 = 2. Like everything makes sense. And with me, it's like you know 1+1 is flowers or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like my
Yeah.
mind's just like that. And so I think that's where we're different. But I also think I've always really respected the fact that he is like that, and I think maybe now on some level he kind of respects the fact that I'm the way I am.
What does your brother do?
Okay. He helps like set up small business like insurance plans, like life insurance. Like if you have like a business, like the employees, like insurance the employees. Or something.
Okay.
So I guess he does like benefits
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I don't.
Do you feel like that aligns with his personality?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like he's been doing it for a long time. I gotta think he's like really good at it. I don't know if he likes doing it. I can't speak for him, but I mean, but like I think he's really good at it because you know it's a job where stuff has to make sense. It has to make sense. What we're putting together and what I'm putting for you has to make sense for you. It has to make sense for the company. And I think that he's probably really good at that.
Okay.
You know?
What
I wouldn't be the good at that. I'd be like, well, here, let me give you a little bit more.
I liked your statement. 1+1 = flowers. I think that'd be a great sticker. What was y'all's dynamics like with your parents? Did one like were you a mama's boy and he was with dad, or like was there any like bifurcation there?
I don't know if this is the real story, but I was real close to my mom, and I think part of that was the story goes is that my dad was a farmer, and so he didn't want to take me out to the farm because he was scared something was going to happen to me. You know, like if you have a baby for the first time, you're kind of like, oh shit, like I don't know what to do, right? But then when you have another one, you're like, oh well, these things don't break. And so he took my brothers to the farm with him all the time. They were inseparable.
Wait, so the farm.
So my dad was a farmer, so we had a house in town, and then we would go out to the farm. I had a barn.
Okay, so
tractors.
y'all had property you owned.
Well, we rented.
Or sorry, you rented.
Yeah. And so my dad was a rice farmer, and so
Okay.
we had cows, and he would farm rice, and
So he'd take your brother with him
every day, like my brother with him all the time.
Did you have any sort of feelings about that?
Oh yeah, like I mean, you know, because it's like, but also I wasn't like my dad. My dad was very much like my dad's a very logical person. Very, even though he's really funny, like other people don't really see that. He's just always like kind of like straight to the point, very logical and stuff like that. I get to see that and he has a very odd sense of humor too. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think maybe it's just like firstborn. You know, tends probably be towards the mom.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just because like it's the first like kind of baby, you know, I guess. I don't know. And my dad's timidness maybe to like, you know, take me out and spend that time with me out the farm, maybe, you know, it added to that. But also like my mom was a school teacher, but she was also like she was in the band. I think she sang. You know, she was more the creative person now of the two.
Okay. And do you feel like that was that decision made by the parents or was it made by you that you were like, I gravitated towards my mom?
I don't know. Like I feel like it was probably me, but like now as a parent, like my biggest thing is like, you know, something will happen. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna scar her for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? And then like she doesn't even remember. And the shit she remembers, I'm just like, why do you remember that? But then you think about my own life, I think about like, why did I pick the events that impacted my life as a child to remember? Those are the ones I remember, like with my parents or my brother or something. Why did I pick those? Because there had to have been so many other things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that I was a soft kid. I was soft.
Soft in what way? I would consider myself, I was a soft kid. Like I cried very easily.
Yeah, I was very sensitive.
Very emotional,
I was
yeah.
a sensitive kid. And I just think that was tough for everybody. You know what I mean? But what am I
It was tough for like the family that you were sensitive?
Yeah, I just think that like, you know, if you've ever been around a sensitive kid, like as an adult, been around a sensitive kid, you're just like, shit. You're going through it, kid. Like I can feel it. I can't help you, but I can feel it on you. You know what I mean? But what do you do with that as a parent? You know what I mean? Like my daughter's kind of emotional, and I try to talk to her about it. But like, you know, like I feel like I was just like, I was probably out of control, just super emotional. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny because like it feels like you're describing like your emotions were a real burden for everyone. Do you feel like that was the case? Like
Ooh, I feel like that maybe that was the impression that I got.
seems like that's the impression you had.
Well, I mean, for better or for worse, that's what I felt like. You know
Like
what I
you
mean?
felt like I'm very emotional, and that is somewhat of a burden on. Like other people were wary of it, and they tiptoe around it. Did you feel like that?
I couldn't speak. I wouldn't know. But I retrospectively,
I guess I'm not asking if
No,
that's
I know.
what the case was. I'm asking if that's like what you perceived.
at the time, I perceived that like, hey, motherfuckers, why aren't y'all like helping? I need stuff. But I wasn't asking for it in the right way. You know, and it's kind of like, I mean, when my daughter when she whines, I'll just go to her and I'll go, look, I hear what you're asking for. I need you to ask me for it in a way that you are not whining. Like just ask me for it. And I go, more than likely I'll say yes. Like I had to throw that. So now, instead of like whining, she'll stop me and she'll go, Daddy, I'm asking. She'll say something to the effect like, I'm asking for this in the adult voice or whatever, and she'll go, like she'll go, I'm not whining. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then she'll ask whatever she's asking. Will that be okay? And I was like, yes, that'll be okay. Because I want to respect that she's trying to do that. Because I don't want to whine.
So did you feel like were you a whiny kid?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of psychological stuff that's going into the back part of this. You know what I mean? But what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes as a parent, I'm flying by the seat of my pants kind of thing.
That's got to be most of the time. I mean, I can't imagine.
It's much better now. Now that she's like 5 and she can like poop on her own and like
It's a big step.
Yeah, I mean
poop.
I mean, wiping her own butt's a big step. You know, and like the other day, like we've been helping her with bath, but she was like, I'm gonna do bath by myself and I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna wash myself, I'm gonna get out and put my clothes. And she did it all by herself and stuff like that. And I was like, look at that. Now we're here. One less thing on my checklist.
Well, so let me ask you, like, whenever that happened, did you think one less thing on my to-do list, or did you think that's something I don't get to do with her anymore?
I would have thought that's something I didn't get to do anymore if I hadn't put intentions around doing it all this time.
Okay.
But I have done it enough.
Like I was present in the moment every time I got my fill.
I think one day I'll miss it. Like,
Yeah.
there's just like, like there's stuff that I, like if I see pictures on my phone and stuff, I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. You know, how little she was or whatever. I think it's just impossible. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm glad, like, I'm happy that she's becoming a little person. That's what we're here to do. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm excited about it. I know parents probably don't get excited. You know what I mean? They want their kids to stay little, but like, I just want them to grow.
Good.
I want us to have a good relationship. Like, I want to have a good relationship with her and all that kind of jazz.
I commend you for that.
Hey, thanks. This sounds so just finding more awareness. You're finding peace with yourself about who you are and what you do and stuff like that. Like, that's something everybody should experience. And I feel like that enough people don't find peace with themselves, right? They're hung up on things and what they did and this, that, and the other and who they should be and like all that kind of stuff. And they just never just like get to just be with themselves and be just with yourself and be peaceful with yourself. And I really feel like that I found some of that. And then once you find that kind of stuff, like I'd talk to other people and they would say it kind of in a different way, but now I know kind of what they're talking about. And they always talked about like how it's how addictive it is to really, be okay with being with yourself. And like, I'm going to go on this little podcast tour. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm going to be by myself and like, I'm really looking forward to it in this really interesting way. You know what I mean? Because I think that it is as valuable as the time I spend with my family and stuff like that. And it's going to change me in a way that's going to make me better for them. And a lot of people wouldn't even go to the movies like by themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. You've taken probably solo trips. You kind of know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, I think, and I feel like I'm on somewhat of a journey of like myself, of like trying to better understand myself and be very aware of like how I respond to things and almost to the point of like where Logan can almost become like a third person. And like, it's not just like me, it's like me and Logan. Like Logan is a person who like a friend, someone I care about and I understand. And I don't know. I'm feeling kind of a transformation like that. Like, it's not like just me. I'm also someone that I observe.
Yeah. I think
right?
I feel like we're kind of saying the same thing. Like, there's an ability to be with yourself, see yourself as this person that deserves love and caring, just like everyone else and stuff like that. And I think I read a book recently where he talks about that. Like, like part of you being a whole person is you being, you loving yourself as well. Because if you don't love who you are, it leaves there's a hole left. There's a space left,
Yeah. Well, it gets to like, I think like I asked myself the question of like, if I was just like one of my friends doing what I'm doing, like I wouldn't be near as hard on them as like I can be on myself. Like I wouldn't say, I would hold them to a much different standard.
Yeah.
Right. Which, maybe that gets kind of quirky of like your standards versus standards for your friends, but like if you can separate yourself from yourself to be like, if I was just a person existing that I was observing, how would I feel about them? I feel like for the most part, we'd be a lot more positive about who those people are.
Well, you just realize that like, everybody's their worst critic kind of thing. Right. And for the most part, wherever you went today, you don't remember anybody. You didn't pay attention to anyone that was there. You went to Walmart today and you don't remember one person, unless there was some crazy lady doing some crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Unless there was something out of the ordinary, you didn't really notice anyone, and that's every day. Like, and now I notice people, but I'm also like, I'm trying to be really with myself and present and being aware of everything that's going on around me. So I'm taking the time to, when I go places, to do those kinds of things. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's an everyday behavior. I don't know if that made you feel any better that like I would do something like that, but like, because then it just seems like, oh, there are people out there like that. But I guess like, I'm not coming, like, even if I saw the Logan when I like go, like I'm just going, oh, I think that's the Logan. I don't think about it. It's just more like taking it in, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess there's, you're saying like if you just observed like Logan like in the world, you're just not putting much.
I think most people as they walk through the world, they don't like.
But I feel like I guess what I was getting is like most people in the world, like we kind of just give them grace. Or
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what I'm
benefit of the
saying.
doubt,
Like,
right? You're like,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, they're doing the thing.
Yeah. That guy was doing that thing. Who cares? Yeah, like you know what I mean. I think we give a lot more grace in that way than we give ourselves. Like we think we scrutinize ourselves in those moments where it's like no one's really, that happens a lot at the gym where people get really self-conscious of working out in front of other people, and I go, let me tell you something. One, just about everybody in here is focused on themselves. Ain't nobody focused
There's
on
a reason they have all those mirrors up.
Yeah, and two, like most people are in here to get stuff done. They might notice you, but they're not here to scrutinize your form or anything like that. If they are, well, they're not really here to like work out and do whatever they're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and fuck that guy, And so, like, I don't know.
They got some bigger problems going on if they're showing up to the gym to like
to like judge other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's my job. I'm just kidding. Ask me one more out of that stack. I like that you asked me all this other stuff, but like, let's get one more out of the stack.
Oh, yeah.
And then I gotta turn it in, man, because this kid she's gonna wait up for me all night.
Yeah. I will leave them.
No. She'll wait you out. Like she'll just wait you out. Like,
It's 11:11. Make a wish.
Oh, all right, I'm done. Are you supposed to tell people that? Are you supposed to tell people what the wish is? Or does that break it?
You don't tell them what the wish is. And I don't know if that's only birthday wishes, but like I don't chance it. So don't tell me.
So did you never tell someone your wishes?
Never. Keep that shit to yourself.
Don't tell me your wishes, motherfucker.
Where in your life are you denying yourself forgiveness?
Oh, man, just the times where I just think I'm just like not a good dad. You know what I mean?
One of those times when you lose patience.
Yeah, and or like she'll say stuff. She'll go like, "Daddy, are you frustrated right now?" And then I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm wearing that shit, wearing that all over my face, huh?" You know what I mean? And in those moments, like I really, I feel like that.
You feel like you shouldn't be angry, like you're not allowed to be angry?
No, I feel like I'm allowed to be angry, but I feel like that I could be better. I could always be better. I could always show up as a better person for her. Like just because I'm frustrated doesn't mean that she should feel the impact of that. And why am I wearing that so lightly on the outside? Like, why can't I keep that in more? Not that I can't express those things, but could I just tell her that the moment is frustrating instead of having her pick up on it and call me out about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could I acknowledge it faster and go, like, I'm really frustrated right now. And I just want you to know if, or, whatever. But those are the times where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't understand how people don't want to be, like, you have kids and don't want to be parents. Like, they're just like, they don't care. Like, I don't get that part. And so, like, it really, when she's the, the judge and jury of it, then I'm kind of like, oh.
Let me ask you, like, how easy is it for you to understand, like, to recognize and understand and accept, like, I'm frustrated right now?
It's like when she goes, she'll go, "Are you frustrated, Daddy?" I go, "Oh yeah, I am." But I go, it's just not with you. I'm frustrated with because.
But let's say she's not even the picture. Like, you're just going about your day. Like, do you feel like? I feel like I've had like just the other night, like I got home and I was just like, I slammed my truck door and I was like, Logan, you're fucking on one right now. You are frustrated. You are upset. And up until now, you were not willing to acknowledge that. I'm curious about, like, do you get like that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that's just all gross stuff. And when you talked about, like, seeing yourself outside of yourself, I think that's all, like, part of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then you get to a place where someone goes, hey, you're being, like, you're passive-aggressive. You're like, no, I'm not. I don't mean that. Like, that's not what I'm doing right now. Or, they'll make some judgment about you. And you're so aware of your behavior of when you are frustrated or you are being passive aggressive, then you go like, I'm not in this moment. I know when I am. That's when I say, and I like, I try to recognize when I am that person, and I don't say own it, but just be like, yeah, like I'm not being the best person right now. I told my therapist that.
That what?
So I told this story before, but I'll tell it again just because. So I walked out of one of my therapy appointments. Did I tell you this?
Yeah, you told me that.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
So anyways, and so I'll give the short version, but like when I went back to her, like I apologized to her, and she goes, yeah, you were on that one day, and I go, I know. Like I knew exactly where I was that day.
Yeah.
Like and I just didn't have the patience or tolerance for it that day.
Like in the moment where you like, I don't have the patience for this, I need to go, or it's just like I'm so pissed, like I'm seeing red.
I tried, like I knew I needed to, like I wanted to leave, and probably if she wouldn't have offered it, I would have asked for it at some point.
Yeah.
But like I came in like so red hot that day. I did not want to be there from the very start, and so I just should have said, I'm just going to eat this money today. It would have been smarter for me to eat money that day than it was like go to therapy and try to like, because I just went because it was like not wasting food.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I'm gonna charge for this. I'm not gonna waste this hour. But it was so unproductive.
Was this solo therapy?
No, it was couples. So I
couples?
walked out of a couples therapy
Yeah.
session. Yeah.
Oof. Were we all riding together?
Yeah. No. We took separate cars, but I waited. I went out to the lobby. This is the God's honest truth. So I walked out. She goes, if you want to leave, and she couldn't even get it out of her mouth. I'm out the door, right? I sat in the lobby and I did breath work for 45 minutes. I just sat there.
What's your breath work that you do?
Just
Do
breathe.
you do like box breathing, or
just breathe. Just in through my nose, out through my mouth, trying to be as totally aware of my breath, right? And just sitting with my breath. And of course your thoughts are just like, racing. And then like halfway, this is like 45 minutes. So like halfway I was like, you shouldn't have probably walked out. You should probably just stayed in there. You could have stayed in there. You really know you could have stuck that. You fucked that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to be a fucktard today. Like I chose that. You know what I mean? Like in a weird statement. I don't know why I chose that in a statement, but like, so after about 20 minutes of being in the lobby, I was like, oh, I could have just stayed in there and worked hard. Like I want to, but better that I wasn't ready in that moment and I removed myself than to try to fight through that moment and have the realization later that I should have stayed. That's a better scenario, because I don't think in that moment that I would have held it,
You're saying you wouldn't have held it if you forced yourself to stay? Or
I think, one, I think if I didn't want to do the work that day and I didn't want to stay, then I shouldn't have to stay. I should always be able to leave. And she was trying to encourage me to stay at the time, but I just wasn't hearing it. I was done for the day. You know what I mean?
So like, I hear you say that, like I imagine if I was in the same scenario, like I would be, even if I showed up and I was just like, I don't want to do this today. I don't think I have it today. It has been very hard for me to give myself permission to like admit like I don't want to be here.
Oh no,
it
was easy. I think I said it to her.
Yeah,
I said to the therapist. I was like, I don't want to be here today. And so like, because and when I went back to her and I saw her by myself when we like kind of like talked about this, she was like, that was a different side of you. And like, I guess I felt like I wanted to know that I didn't want to be there. But again, like to my daughter, the same thing. I don't have to carry my emotions outside all the time. I don't have to, like, you don't have to see everything. Like I can ask for the things I need without having it be that. And that's like, that's another level that I'm working. That's another whole step that I'm working on. You know?
That's great.
I hope so.
I'm sorry.
I mean, well, what else am I doing? You know what I mean?
I don't know. You're doing a podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Man, Logan, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a good time?
Yeah.